Oh, hello there. Don't be alarmed. We're just preparing your listening device for Scuba Radio, the world's first radio show devoted to diving. We do this, of course, by filling the radio with water. Don't worry, we're professionals. Thanks to me, you won't even get wet. You see, I've crammed every appendage of my body into the cracks and crevices of your radio, ensuring an airtight seal. By the way, don't touch your on-off knob. That's a very sensitive area. Anyway, I should remind you, we believe in the buddy system just like diving, so don't listen alone. Call your buddy and tell them that Scuba Radio is about to begin.
We're gonna start a new life under the sea.
So, am I gonna drown?
Of course not. Just stay calm and let the gentle currents relax your every muscle.
Under the sea, under the sea.
Did it just get warmer?
There'll be no accusations, just friendly crustaceans under the sea.
Where the hell are the sharks?
And now, here's your dive guide for Scuba Radio, Greg the Dive Master.
And welcome. This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. I am Greg the Dive Master. CJ's in the studio with me. I got the Scuba Radio Scuba Squad standing by. This is a tough one. We had a crazy week this week. And, you know, we goof around on this show week in and week out. And then every once in a while, life throws you a curve. And this was one of those weeks. So indulge me just a little bit this week because we got a lot to process here at Scuba Radio. We lost a wonderful spirit this week. Carrie Coda, she was one of the mermaids just a few weeks ago at the Scuba Show in Long Beach. A good friend of Mermaid Kristen's. And she was shot and killed this week. I mean, it's a tragedy. There's no way to make any sense of it whatsoever. And you know, we're trying to deal with this, and it's you know, it's a little rough. And everybody has their trials and tribulations, and you know, and Carrie, I mean, there's just no making sense of it at all. Okay. And I know anyone listening right now, and I know you're thinking about how this, you know, may apply to you, and it may very well not, but just, you know, if you get anything out of this, just the people you love in your life, hold them a little closer this week. You know, every once in a while, this kind of thing pops up in life, and you got to deal with it. You got to move on. The show must go on. So I'm going to do my best today, but just know that, you know, this is on the back of our mind. We're going to process this as a group today. This is almost going to turn into, I think, Scuba Radio therapy for the Scuba Radio Scuba Squad this week, and myself, and especially, you know, Carrie's friends and family, Kristen in particular. She was a good friend and kind of, you know, Kristen's mermaid buddy. A potential dive buddy was what we were talking about at the scuba show, because she wasn't certified just yet, but we were talking about that. And then, you know, this happens, and it's really hard to process. But Carrie, just, you know, and I'm going to open it up to the squad here in just a bit, but I'm going to share just one little anecdote about Carrie, because she, you know, her and Kristen at the scuba show in particular, I mean, they were like a buddy team, and they were hanging out together, and we travel and we go out and we do shows and things like that. And God knows they don't want to see me, but they love seeing our mermaids. So I love teaming up our mermaids and having them, you know, work with each other. And they were a great team at the scuba show, really helped us marketing wise. And if you remember a couple weeks ago, I was talking about the fact that they interviewed me on KTLA in Los Angeles, the big morning TV show, you know, out there in La La Land. And which kind of surprised me. I was like, really? You guys want to interview me? And they said, yeah. So we did this. And I was like, well, let's have our mermaids in the background. Because God knows I got the face for TV, right? No, I got the face for radio. Exactly. So we set it up, and I tell Carrie and Kristen, I was like, hey, we got a call time. They want us to be ready early in the morning on Saturday morning. So be all dressed up in the mermaid thing, be ready to go. And sure enough, as things happen in TV, they change it on us, and they moved it up like 20 minutes or so. And I was ready to go. I was there pretty early, but yeah, mermaids being the mermaids, they kind of go at their own, time, right? And sure enough, Kristen shows up, and she's getting ready. We're about maybe 10 minutes away, and I'm like, "Where's Carrie?" And he says, "Well, she's in the bathroom. She's putting on her makeup." I'm like, "Okay." Well, a few minutes go by, and I'm looking at the TV host and the cameramen from the TV station and stuff, and we're starting to run out of time. And I'm looking like, "Hey, we got 2 minutes. Where's Carrie?" He says, "Oh, she'll be here any minute." I was like, "Okay." I said, "Let's see what happens." Kristen's hurrying up. I mean, she's getting on the mermaid gear and stuff, and I finally see Carrie walking down the hall and coming towards us, and and I'm like, "Carrie, we got like a minute." She goes, "Oh God!" And I just see her whole demeanor change. And I turn back to the TV people, and then all of a sudden I say, "Oh God, no!" And I turn around, and Carrie had taken a header and fell flat on her face. And everybody was helping her. "Are you okay? Are you good?" It was a total mess, and I felt terrible. And literally, I bet it wasn't even 15 seconds before we went on the air, she scooched up her mermaid tail, and the result was magic on TV. They made me look good. So, and I know that's kind of seems like a weird anecdote to share, but it just goes to show, she might have been slightly klutzy or whatever, but God bless her. She was so friendly, so just like, "Oh God, it happens. I'm an idiot, whatever. Let's go and let's make it happen." And we did, and it was amazing, and it worked out great. But when I got news that this happened, that was the first thing that popped in my head, was that little story of how she recovered from her little face plant. I don't know, what it means, but I know she's with us, and she'll continue to be with us as much as this loss has been difficult to accept. And it doesn't even stop there, but because there's some other things that happened this week too, and I'm going to get into them as we go. How do I do this with the show today? Well, I'm going to tell you how I use ScubaRadio and my diving throughout the world to connect with the friends I've lost over the years, because it really is something I haven't really talked about too much, and I am going to share that today, whether you want to hear it or not. So that's where the therapy comes into play. Maybe you'll learn something from it. Maybe you won't. Just hang out with us. Let us share a little bit, and we'll go from there. CJ, how you doing there, buddy?
I'm all right. It's definitely sad.
Yeah.
Tough. I mean,
there's no way to spin this in a positive light, let alone joke around and like we typically do. But I know I know for a fact that's what Carrie would want us to do. She goes, "Suck it up, Greg. Don't be a wuss. Do your thing." And so I'm going to do the best I can. Now, we have the ScubaRadio Scuba Squad connected via the web. Barry the Bugger, Jerry the Diver Guy, Vinny Two Tanks, Casey the Tobacco Nut, the rather regular crew. But, of course, we're joined by a few extras today. Kenny from Sweetwater Scuba is with us. And we got Serena, Mermaid Serena is with us. She knew Carrie well. And, of course, Mermaid Kristen is with us as well today. And we're doing what we can, especially for Kristen, because they are longtime friends, and this is extra difficult for her. And I don't even know if she really wants to say anything today on the air, and she definitely doesn't need to. But I know that I speak for the entire crew, that we're thinking of her and Carrie's family, and we're just going to put our arms around them today, right? And talk about some good memories and that kind of thing, and process this together, all right? That's what's happening today on the world's first radio show devoted to diving.
This is the Worldwide Scuba Radio Network.
Come as a guest, leave as a friend. It's a philosophy that comes from the top down at Explorer Ventures liveaboards. It doesn't matter if you're traveling solo, with a buddy, or group. Explorer Ventures does the liveaboard dive experience right. For proof, no, Explorer Ventures has one of the best repeat customer stats in the dive industry. They're also the official liveaboard company of Scuba Radio. You've likely heard us talk about Explorer Ventures Scuba Radio scuba cruise trips many times, and we invite you to join us on the next one. However, whether we're on board with you or not, I'll bet an Explorer Ventures liveaboard trip will be one of the best dive experiences you've ever had. It just doesn't get any better. Saba St. Kitts, Turks and Caicos, the Galapagos, Maldives, Indonesia, humpback whales, and the Silver Banks, new destinations and itineraries are being added all the time. Call one of their talented travel consultants to find the Explorer Ventures liveaboard experience that's just right for you. 1-800-322-3577. That's 1-800-322-3577. Or visit explorerventures.com. That's explorerventures.com.
Hey, baby, what's going down?
Later, nerd.
Are you lacking with the ladies?
Nope.
Enhance your scuba superpowers with a new ScubaRadio hat.
Wow, nice hat.
Just picked it up at ScubaRadio.com.
Buy 2 ScubaRadio hats and get free shipping.
Need a dive buddy, sexy?
Always. And I got a Scuba Radio hat for you, too.
New ScubaRadio hats are now available at ScubaRadio.com.
So cool.
Order yours today, or stay a loser.
Do you have a message or a product that you'd like to share with the diving world? Well, look no further than Scuba Radio. Just like you, thousands of diving enthusiasts are hearing this message, and we could be talking about you and your product or service as early as next Saturday. Remember, a terrible thing happens when you don't advertise. Nothing. Go to ScubaRadio.com, send us an email, and let's get to work to make your marketing message matter.
Prepare to rig for dive!
Your surface interval is complete. You are now clear to dive with Scuba Radio.
Scuba Radio.
The world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Scuba Radio.
Dive, dive, dive.
This group has sucked from the very start, from the teat of friendship.
This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. I am Greg the Dive Master. Okay, so this is a rough one today. It's going to be hard to get through this, but we'll be okay. I'm gonna slowly but surely ramp things back up. All right, as we reflect on Mermaid Carrie and losing her, that was terrible. And just I got to mention this as well. This has just been a hell week. I mean, because when I got news about Carrie, you'd think that was bad enough, but I started calling around, telling some people what had happened, and doing what little you can to lend support to Gary's friends, Kristen, everyone else that was touched by her. But I called up the dive god Neil Watson. We gotta think about him today too, because I call him up and I'm prepared to tell him what's going on. And I said, hey man, how you doing? And he goes, well, not great. Carl died yesterday, his brother. And Carl Watson, he was one of the guys who started Ocean Fest back in the day with Neil and Neil's daughter. And so that was a hard one to take for Neil. He's had a rough week. And, of course, I got to share this news with him. He was, devastated already. And I have to tell him. So, think about the dive god and his family is dealing with some things this week, too. So it's like a double whammy this week. I mean, it's just been ridiculous. But, hey, the show must go on, will go on. We will take the memories that we've had with these people and persevere. And I'm going to connect with them again. I know. And I'll get to this eventually. But one of the things I do when I go diving, sometimes I get into that Zen point, and I'll just go float off, off a wall in the Caribbean in some place and kind of go off by myself, maybe a little bit.
That's where you go when I can't find you.
Yes. And I'll just look around
where the hell did Greg go?
But I'll have a moment, with the people that I've lost. over the years. It's been way too many, that's for sure. And everybody has their things in life that they got to deal with like that. But, I find myself reflecting when I go diving sometimes. And we'll see if some other folks do that as well. Now, we have a lot of special guests on. I mentioned Kenny. We got Serena. Mermaid Kristen is with us. And Kristen, do you want to say anything? If you want to just kick back and hang with us, I'm totally cool with that. But of course, if you want to say anything, I want you to have the opportunity to share whatever you would like about Carrie.
I just I want to everybody who met her and knows her and met her at the dive shows that she went to with us. Yeah, I was fully just in awe of the amount of messages and phone calls that I got from the mermaid community and the dive community from people who only maybe spent 15 minutes with her.
Yeah.
Carrie isn't just like one of my mermaids. She's my best friend. I've known her for quite some time. She's one of my friends from home from Virginia. And just having all these people who barely even met her may have spent, like I said, 15 minutes to an hour to maybe like going out having drinks with us at night.
Mm-hmm.
Every single person had so much to say about how wonderful she was. And it meant a lot to me.
Yeah.
It made it harder because, I'm getting texts every day. But it meant a lot to me. And I passed them all on to her mom when I spoke with her mom yesterday. Because all of our friends did a memorial for her, which unfortunately I had to do through FaceTime. But, that's what happens when you move away. But I sent everything that everyone said about her. I showed to our friends and our moms and her mom, and everyone was, including myself, extremely grateful for everyone's love and support towards it, towards me and towards her and her family, and just the fact that everyone could knew from the minute that they met her just like how beautiful the person inside and out she was, and it meant a lot. So thank you all.
Yeah.
It did help a lot this week.
Yeah, I know it's been unbearable for you, her family, her friends. I mean, I knew her through Kristen kind of and had enough contact with her to know how fun she was and everything. And we were talking about her becoming a diver, right, Kristen? And
yeah, and it's funny, actually, her mom's my best friend yesterday at the thing, they sent me a photo of her, I guess when she was a kid, and she's in a pool, and she's got a regulator in her mouth, and her dad's like floating a BCD next to her. And I didn't know she had done anything like that until my friend sent me that photo yesterday. So she'd already sort of tried it.
Well, she'll always be with us on our next dive, and take that moment maybe and look out over the reef like I do sometimes, and you'll bring her with you. Serena is with us as well, and I know I think you had a comment or two, or you had some interaction with her. I believe last year?
Yeah,
at the DEMA
I met
show?
her at DEMA.
Yeah.
So I only had the pleasure of knowing her for a few days, but
yeah, it's all it took, isn't it?
Yeah, like so welcoming, so bright and shiny. Like it's just so sad that somebody so beautiful would have such a tragic end. She didn't deserve that.
No way. I mean, she's only 35 years old. I mean, God bless Carl. He had a full life, but when you see, someone taken like that so young, it was just making no sense of it whatsoever. But yeah, how you holding up there, Serena? You just processing this as well, kind of? Just like
Yeah, I mean, because Kristen and I are so close, like I feel her pain as well.
Yeah.
Serena helped her a lot last year at DEMA too, because Carrie was all, I'm okay. I'm just allergic to shellfish. And Serena's like, no.
Yeah, she had an allergic reaction at Hell's Kitchen when we were at the DEMA,
I feel
right?
bad because Carrie showed up later and the reservations had already been made, so we weren't able to add one. But that evening, I went to go see a show at the Sphere, and while it was amazing, I sometimes get seasick, so I was feeling kind of nauseated. So I gave Carrie my spot at dinner. So I almost was the cause of her demise and her allergic reaction.
Yes,
that's on her own.
yeah, she's
He
allergic to
knew.
shellfish or something, and had we were like, oh no, gotta get her out of there. But she did okay, and it gave us a great story, right? Which is what I think she's probably smiling right now along that lines. Well, Serena, thank you for sharing. And, I'm going to give the rest of the crew some opportunities, and then we're going to reflect on how you use scuba diving to connect with these people that we've lost over our lives. I mean, I do it all the time. Maybe it's just me. We'll find out next on the world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Scuba Radio. Scuba Radio.
Scuba action star Mike Scott is back in a new audiobook, Cayman Cowboys, Reefs Under Pressure. From author Eric Douglas comes the one that started it all. Listen as Mike deals with submarines, kidnapping, betrayal, and more.
He didn't even have fins or a mask to let him see in the water. He was going to be slow and blind. If it weren't for the float, he knew there would be no way he would ever make it to the surface.
Download Cayman Cowboys or Oil and Water, Return to Cayman, Turks and Chaos, and Lionfish at Amazon, booksbyeric.com, and audible.com.
Power, simplicity, reliability. It's what you demand of your dive computer. And Shearwater delivers. Shearwater evolved out of one tech diver's need for a reliable, easy-to-use rebreather dive computer and quickly became the tech market leader. Now recreational divers have taken notice. The Shearwater Peregrine is a simple, full-color, multi-gas dive computer. It's also the most economical Shearwater dive computer released to date. Check it out and the entire line at shearwater.com. Shearwater. Dive computers for demanding divers.
Prepare to rig for dive!
Your surface interval is complete. You're now clear to dive with Scuba Radio.
Scuba Radio.
The world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Scuba Radio.
Dive, dive, dive.
Lay it on me. Tell me what you can do.
Okay. I can communicate with every living creature living in our vast oceans.
Okay. Talks to fish. Got it.
Also,
I'm going to stop you right there because I know your powers. It's talks to fish. The rest of the page is blank.
I have sonar.
Yeah, for talking to fish.
I have super hearing.
So you can listen to fish?
I can breathe underwater.
Because that's where the fish you talk to are?
Night vision.
So you can find the fish if you ever want a nighttime chinwag.
I can do a lot more than just talk to fish, okay? I can transport the entire Justice League by manipulating the waves of the ocean.
Oh, wow. You know what else can transport people on the ocean? A boat.
This is definitely true. This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. I am Greg the Dive Master. CJ's in the studio with me. All right, so we got a lot on our minds today. And, and by the way, I got a full crew on board. And if any of the Scuba Radio Scuba Squad have anything they want to throw in for whatever reason, just to share a little bit with this tragic situation we've had to deal with this week, just raise your hand, all right? And we'll give you the floor. But I want to talk a little bit about how I use scuba diving in a way to reflect on people sometimes that I've lost over the years. It's I it's happened more than I'd like to admit, but I never, I think it's just one of those things that when you get into the zone, when you become a diver and you get very comfortable in the water, you kind of find that Zen kind of place when you've controlled your breath. It's like meditation kind of deal. And it's just, I think it's a natural progression when you get to be very, very comfortable underwater. Not only do you relax and it just, feels great, like a meditative state, but you have a tendency, I do, I just drift off and I just start thinking like, gosh, I'm looking out over the reef or drifting out over the wall. I'm like, this is heaven. I'm in the coolest place on the planet, and it's impossible not to think of, some people that I've lost throughout the years and just think, gosh, I know they're diving with me right now, I mean, that happens to me all the time. I don't know, CJ, have you been there? You ever felt anything like that, or you just?
No, I generally will have conversations in my head with the sea life.
Okay.
They talk back to me, and I.
Were you below 100 feet?
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay, because you could have been knocked.
What's going on, dude? And they're like, nothing. What are you doing? I'm like, I'm just checking you out.
That sounds like a psychological problem.
And then, sometimes it gets a little crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Barry the Bugger, what do you think? Can you connect with what I was saying, or are you talking to fish too?
Well, I don't always talk to the fish, but yeah, I understand what you're saying. When you're underwater, you're completely disconnected from everything. I mean, you can't have a cell phone and all that other stuff it's
quiet
you
your
out in
mind.
the water. You quiet your mind. When you are that comfortable, when you first start out diving, everything's exciting. But after a while, you get so comfortable in the water that you're just floating there. You don't even realize you're diving sometimes. I mean, you are, but it's like walking, taking a long walk. It's just you and what's going on, the noises that you hear in the ocean.
Yeah.
And it gives you it gives your mind a chance to think and just to review everything that's gone on in the past however long.
Right. Okay. Well, that makes sense. What do you think here, Casey, the tobacco nut? You've been around a while. Yeah. Can you connect with what I was saying? When you dive, do you get in that spot?
And one of the things I kind of taught as a skill when I did hypnotherapy was to associate feelings, good or bad, things you just don't want to have in your face every day, to dispel them, to blow them up or everything. But as a diver, I found that sometimes if something's really heavy, I'll attach it to the bubbles.
Whoa.
Interesting.
You know what I thought he was going to say?
What?
I thought Casey was going to say he thinks about, what hat he's going to get next.
Well, what? Yeah, exactly.
Well, this is our 4th of July show.
Oh.
As a side note.
So, yeah, he's got the red, white, and blue.
We're not doing
stars.
that next week?
No. No, we are.
After
actually.
the 4th of July.
He's just getting a jump on it.
Yeah, but it's a little closer to next Saturday.
He's trying to brighten things up just a tad. I thought he was going to say something when you're trying to get rid of negative things, that he was talking about Barry or something.
Oh,
like that.
no.
I mean,
the bubbles float up and then the negative things float away with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had to explain it to Greg. He's a little.
So Barry floats up.
Right.
As an example, one of the things you could do, being that it's 4th of July and everybody's going to be setting off
explosives,
fireworks.
Yeah.
The Indians used to attach their prayers to smoke, and the smoke would carry your thoughts heavenwards.
All right.
And they did that. I think the Chinese, the lanterns. They would
did
send
the
lanterns up.
yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, that's Jerry the Diver Guy. What say you? Do you connect like that underwater? You ever get in that zone place, or are you kind of a panicky diver and don't?
No, I've dove many times after heartbreak. So
yeah.
I mean, when you lose people you love, and it's close. It's the best way to go.
Yeah.
Just go get away from everybody.
Yep. Blow some bubbles. Kind of calms your mind a little bit. Vinny, 2 tanks. Got any 2 cents you want to throw in there, or?
When I dive, I'm just thinking about all the stuff I'm seeing and where's it come? Who made all this stuff?
Yeah.
So I'm always mystified with what I see underwater. So I'm always thinking about that.
Yeah. It makes you think of friends that you've lost throughout the years a little, maybe too. No, not so much.
Not so much. No, I'm
just the
thinking
wonder
about,
of it all. That's how you look at it.
Just like who made this mess? I mean, did this just happen, or?
Yeah.
Someone responsible for this.
I'm with you.
I
there.
always wonder that.
Okay.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking about.
All right.
You asked, I told you.
All right. Fair enough.
I like that.
Yeah, I like
and
it
I think
too.
about not drowning also too.
Okay, don't die. Whatever you do, don't die.
That's a good.
That's exactly how I think. Don't die now. Don't die.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Kenny from Sweetwater Scuba with us today. He's not. His hat's a little bit more dive centric than Casey the Tobacco Nuts, since it's more, Casey's
Well,
4th of July.
he and Barry match.
Oh, that's true. And I'm sorry about that, Kenny.
I think
They're
he
like
pulled it
cat
off better
brother.
than me.
I'm not so sure about that.
I'm not
Let's
saying
just
a
not
word.
talk about
I
pulling
appreciate
nothing
that.
off.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. But Kenny, can you relate to any of that stuff that I'm talking about, or does it sound like a foreign language, or what? What do you think with your diving?
Honestly,
past?
Greg, I recently had an experience like this, and I dive every week for work, and it's many hours, very quiet. And like some of the others here have said, it's like eventually you get to the point in diving where it's like walking. You go for a walk, you're not thinking about the walking anymore.
Yeah.
And it kind of, because it sort of keeps your body a little bit busy, but on autopilot, it lets your mind sort of go somewhere else. And I look at all the fish, and not to get too deep, no pun intended, but when I see all these fish and colors and everything, it's like you realize whatever is going on there is a reason. I don't know what it is, but that everything is continuing to try and go forward and goes on. It's like all those little colorful fish and critters, they're just so busy. Like, what are y'all doing? Mm-hmm. And it's like they
keep swimming.
They just keep swimming. And
yes.
For whatever reason, we have to, and we won't know until we fulfill that. And there's nothing we can do about it. So you just, like you just said, you got to keep swimming.
Yeah, keep swimming. I think there was a movie that had that in it. Just saying. Good stuff. All right, more coming up. Stay close.
This is the Worldwide Scuba Radio Network.
Prepare to rig for dive!
Your surface interval is complete. You're now clear to dive with Scuba Radio.
Scuba Radio.
The world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Scuba Radio.
Dive, dive, dive.
Welcome back. The votes are in. The second singer of Group A to get unmasked is... Who is it?
This is really tough. No, it doesn't get easier.
The Diver.
Poor Diver. Diver's so sad. I didn't see that coming.
Neither did I.
And keep it going for The Diver.
This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. I am Greg the Dive Master. Okay, so we got a lot going on. By the way, I want to share one of the coolest things we do on the show. We get to travel the world. Last time we did our Virgin Cruise, I was hanging out in the cigar lounge with Carl Watson, and it was the end of our cruise, and we had this massive booze credit. And we had 4 days to burn like $1,200, which was, for someone like Camel DiMartini, that maybe last him a day. Let's be honest. Gomez, Julio, it's split up amongst three people. But Carl and myself, it was tough. And so last day of the cruise, we're struggling to figure out how we're going to burn up our bar tab. So my last interaction with Carl, and we're looking back on all our great times from Ocean Fest at Lauderdale by the Sea and stuff. We're sitting there trying to burn up this tab. And he gets a $200 shot of scotch. I get like a $150 thing of scotch. And we smoke a cigar and just had a moment, And Carl, I miss you, buddy. I just wanted to get that out there because that's what happens when these things happen, whether you're underwater or not. You just, you don't know. When you're going to not see someone again. And, but I'll be thinking of Carl next time I'm underwater, just like we'll be thinking of Carrie. And you may be thinking of someone else. when you're down underwater sometimes, when you get into that Zen moment. There you go. So there you go.
Speaking of that, Greg, when is our next Virgin adventure?
I don't know. I'm actually I'm heading down to South Florida after the show today, and yeah, I'm gonna be talking to the dive god and probably Gomez, Julio, and even Walt at some point, and seeing if we can schedule our next adventure out there.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
I think he needs an adventure.
Yes. Who
With
are you
his
talking
friends.
about? Him? Who? Oh, I mean the dive god. Yes.
The dive god, yeah.
Absolutely.
I vote for another Bimini adventure like we did in October.
Well, we could do that too. Go see the Hammerheads.
Yes, I second that.
Or just go over to Bimini for the heck of it. Yeah, you
And
don't.
I'll bring the cigars.
That's what we did in October. We just went over for the heck of it, and then I was like, "Let's get in the cage."
Let's go. Good Lord, let's go.
Well, you know,
So-
lobster season's coming up soon.
That is, it's coming up at the end of July. That's absolutely true.
And
I made
scallop season is next week.
well, scallop season actually in parts of Florida is already open.
It's already open.
Yeah. But I did make a major mistake, I will say. I did not realize that the next Scuba Radio Scuba Cruise, I'm leaving the day of Florida mini season for lobster. I'm like, no! When I find
First, you mean?
Yeah. Yeah, July 30th.
No, the 31st.
Incorrect,
Well,
sir.
because
You're
it's-
incorrect,
no.
sir.
No. It starts Wednesday
It's
at midnight.
July 30th and
For
31st.
Florida residents,
In your
they do it-
face,
they do
Barry.
it a day
Yeah.
I
early.
just said 31st.
I know.
You
it's
said
30th.
you're leaving the day.
The 30th is
and
the first.
31st.
Yeah, and
But
I'm
for
leaving.
Florida residents, it starts a day early, Barry.
Yeah, it does actually.
So I see the
Wrong!
29, 30, 31.
He's even looking at Google.
I'm
He's
looking at
even
my
Googling
calendar
it. He's getting it
because
wrong.
No,
Oh.
I'm looking at my calendar because they said Dima's in Orlando this year, so I'm gonna have to make arrangements.
Okay. All right. Well, make them.
Oh, you're coming?
FYI,
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I'll drive up there.
CJ's like, well, I guess I got to do something else that week.
Plan, Barry.
Oh well.
Hey, Greg.
Yes, sir,
FYI,
Casey.
What days are you going to be there?
Whatever days you will.
I got to wash my hair that week.
I'll be
Okay.
there
All
the
right.
whole time.
There you go. All right. Casey, what say you, Casey?
Just so everybody, little announcement: scallop season opens here this the first of the month in Homosassa and North. And to go scalloping, you've got to have a saltwater fishing license.
Yes. I mean, that's something, if you want to go lobster and scalloping, whatever the case may be.
Spelunking.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't think it applies
Oh, okay.
in Florida. But make sure you know the rules. Man,
Yes.
I'll tell you what, they have been
Ruse.
they have been cracking down pretty hard. Florida Wildlife Commission. I mean, if a rash of videos on YouTube have been popping up, like they're starting to release all these videos of Florida Marine Patrol pulling over boaters and things like that. And if they got a short lobster or you got a
Busted.
fish that is not proper,
A tiny
slotted.
scallop.
Yep. I
Right to
mean,
jail. Straight to jail.
Well, it can be.
Believe it or not, jail.
It actually can be that.
Right to jail.
And the thing is, a lot of the videos, I mean, you kid, Cock Johnson, but let me tell you something.
Sometimes.
The truth is that a lot of the videos, the people that they're pulling over and then they catch them like, this lobster's too short or this fish isn't big enough or, you got a Florida stone crab and the claw's not long enough. And, it might be a fairly, they might have made a slight mistake. It wasn't like they were poachers, right?
It wasn't like Jerry pulling up a whole net full of pregnant lobsters.
Exactly.
No, none of those.
And
was
shorts.
Yeah, okay,
and
that's
Yeah,
none
look at
of
all the
them
shorts.
short.
Yeah.
But
None of them. Zero
Measuring.
short.
But let me tell you
There
something.
was one that was barely,
Jerry doesn't measure.
barely
Yeah,
legal.
well, they don't care. That's my point. I want to get
Right.
across. They will not care,
Yeah, no excuse.
and you will get a major fine
Right to
and
jail.
have to go to court. And if it's worse enough, yes, you will go to jail.
And they'll post it all over their Facebook pages.
Yes. Well, you'll be all over YouTube as that dope. They're like, oh, I didn't know. I didn't mean to.
You should look at the Monroe County Sheriff's page. They're constantly stopping people and then showing the things that they're measuring and finding that people are doing illegally.
Yes. And because they're not up to speed on what's legal and what's not. They don't know what the rules are.
They just don't care.
Well, I mean, but the people I'm seeing are people that just didn't take the time to actually learn what is legal, and they weren't doing it purposely. They thought they were okay. They just didn't cross their T's and dot their I's. The next thing you know, they're in major trouble. I mean, they don't take this stuff lightly, is my point. Ignorance is not a defense. That's the key.
I know with scallop season, every place you go, bait shops, whatever, they're giving away a free scallop scale. And if it drops through that scale, it's too small.
Yeah.
And last year they were showing person after person coolers full of scallops that were too small.
Mm-hmm. And if you're caught with them,
they need to crack down on it.
Well, I mean,
ruining the whole event.
Well, once again, I mean, what my point is, like, if you want to do it, it's one of the most fun things you'll ever do out on the water. Scalloping, lobstering, stone crabs, whatever. But just make sure you do it right and you're following the rules, because if you don't, you can get yourself in big trouble, and it's not worth it.
Because the boaters don't pay very close attention.
That's
No,
true.
they don't.
Got to be extra safe. Absolutely. All right, look, hour 2 of the world's first radio show devoted to diving is on deck. We got Kenny from Sweetwater Scuba. We're going to talk to him and the rest of the squad here coming up with some more stories and anecdotes of underwater exploits. Stick around.
On the boat and down below, if you want to stay in the know. If you be pressurized there, you'll want to be there on Scuba Radio. Let's go!
Scuba Radio.
Scuba Radio is a production of Overboard Entertainment Incorporated.
Scuba Radio.
This seems the logical place for fish to congregate.
Remember, you can listen live or to archives of past editions of Scuba Radio worldwide over the internet at ScubaRadio.com.
So we're in international waters? Indeed so.
Tell a friend and buddy up with your radio every week for Scuba Radio, the world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Well, it's all very nice here, but we should be going. I miss me wife and me oxygen.
Yes, we all miss our loved ones and gases. Let's go.
The opinions you just heard on Scuba Radio are those of the hosts, callers, and guests.
Okay, what I just heard? Blah, 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 blah.
They are not necessarily those of any station or network, its management, or advertisers.
Come on, quit yanking me.
Scuba diving does involve risk and should never be conducted without proper instruction and training.
Oh, what's the worst thing that could happen?
I could die.
Have any questions or comments? Feel free to do so via the web at ScubaRadio.com.
Oh, hello there. Don't be alarmed. We're just preparing your listening device for Scuba Radio, the world's first radio show devoted to diving. We do this, of course, by filling your radio with water. Don't worry, we're professionals. Thanks to me, you won't even get wet. You see, I've crammed every appendage of my body into the cracks and crevices of your radio, ensuring an airtight seal. By the way, don't touch your on-off knob. That's a very sensitive area. Anyway, I should remind you, we believe in the buddy system just like diving, so don't listen alone. Call your buddy and tell them that Scuba Radio is about to begin.
We're gonna start a new life under the sea.
So, am I gonna drown?
Of course not. Just stay calm and let the gentle currents relax your every muscle.
Under the sea, under the sea.
Did it just get warmer?
There'll be no accusations, just friendly crustaceans under the sea.
Where the hell are the sharks?
And now, here's your dive guide for Scuba Radio, Greg the Dive Master.
And welcome to hour 2 of the world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Also known as the douche.
Don't be a scuba douche.
No, I don't think that's quite right.
The douche, hour 2.
The deuce, right. The deuce.
The douche.
Yeah. No, the deuce. It's 2.
That's what I said.
Really, CJ? Come on now.
Go back and listen.
He's in the studio playing with the poop emoji lamp.
Poop sign.
What? Excuse me?
Keep you regular. Look at that.
All right.
Sewage.
Okay. Hey, there's
Look at sewage.
we do attempt to navigate the latest diving news and information as much as we can.
When?
Well, there was
Right
some
now.
there was some
okay.
news this week that a guy held his breath for 29 minutes. You hear about that? 29 minutes.
Who farted?
That was funny.
That was funny. You're the funny one, remember, CJ?
Subjective. It's very subjective.
No, no, there was a record broke, 29 minutes. Now, this is oxygen assisted.
Was it your wife?
Hold. Yeah, whatever.
Greg.
So,
Greg can rip.
What do you mean oxygen assisted? What are you talking about?
Well, I think it means that they load up their tissues with oxygen, like they'll breathe some O2
yeah,
before
it's like
they.
Pure O2 or something.
Yeah,
and then they do the long hold. And
Yeah.
they get it to 29.
Because
That's
it's
pretty
not.
good, I'd say.
When I first saw 29 minutes, I'm like, what? Wait a minute. Oh, and then, okay, it's kind of, they did this when they shot some of the underwater scenes from Avatar 2. We were talking to Liz Parkinson, who was one of the stunt divers on that and did training with some of the.
So it's a way to hyperventilate.
No.
So you don't need to breathe as much?
No, it's you load your tissues up with oxygen, pure oxygen.
And you take a breath and go.
Yeah, and it allows you to stay longer without passing out or something. I don't know what to say. It's crazy. I mean, you don't want to mess with this stuff unless you're trained properly. Seriously.
God, no.
But to think that somebody could stay underwater and hold their breath for 29 minutes is insane.
Was that static or were they
Sounds
moving?
like a lie.
It probably was static, Vinny, but I don't know.
Yeah, probably
Did it elaborate on like how much or how frequently they may have needed to do the breathe in the O2 in order to stay down for that long?
Greg doesn't. Greg never reads too much into these
Well, I
things.
mean, I can pull up the article.
He'll browse the headline, and that's about it.
That's right. That's all we need. We can put two and two together.
Well,
Don't ever ask him a follow-up question.
Yeah,
He will
no.
not know. He will
But I
never
like to
know.
challenge him.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, you want to know if it's interesting, but no, he doesn't know.
No, here. Okay. Yeah. No, he's not allowed to breathe it after he does his breath hold, but he breathed a bunch of pure oxygen, getting ready for the attempt, and loaded up his tissues and lungs and everything with pure O2, and then he went down and held his breath for 29 minutes and 3 seconds. So I was gonna say,
Well,
yeah, you
know
can't
how
do it
that
after.
works, Greg. It's the carbon dioxide in your system that signals your body to exhale.
want to breathe, right?
Okay,
So
whatever,
if you
Mr.
flood all the
Scientist.
No, he's
carbon
right.
Dioxide out with oxygen.
Okay. Casey the tobacco nut.
There's a phrase I thought I'd never utter.
What's that?
Casey's right.
Well,
Yes. He's right.
okay. Fair enough.
He is right.
Would you guys maybe you ought to learn how to do that? Casey, would you want to make the attempt or no?
No.
Okay. Well, that's one down. Is there any?
I'm too old and comfortable.
Yeah.
Give it to Kristen. She's young and a mermaid. She could do it.
I'm sure she could. You know
I'm
when?
still working on getting my breath hold back up to what it used to be pre motorcycle accident.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
don't know if I can get it. I don't know if I could do that.
Well, baby kicks. Yeah. What was your breath hold then? Did you have a time or no?
I don't know.
You
I
don't know?
can't remember. It was not what it was much better than what it is now.
Mine wasn't 29 minutes and 3 seconds. I'll tell you that much. But it was 3 minutes and 8 seconds. I
yeah,
did a
you
breath
and
hold.
I, when we did it, when we went into Turks and Caicos and with Megan, you and I kind of held our breath for about the same amount of time recently.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that.
3 minutes is a long time.
Hey,
Yeah.
man.
I'm impressed.
Greg's,
Well, you should be.
Greg's
Yeah.
brain does not require that much oxygen.
Thank you, CJ.
Not funny. Anywho, we do
True,
got
but
Kenny
not
from
funny.
from Sweetwater Scuba. Maybe you can shed some intelligent conversation on this topic. I don't know, Kenny. What do you think? Do you do any free diving stuff like that or no?
I actually took a class. We started a class and it got derailed schedule wise, but day one was all pool and I was pretty impressed with it. Like out of shape, no prep. Went from like the first one, I could barely crack a minute to about 2.5 minutes, just after like 1 hour of coaching.
Yeah.
Just laying with my face in the pool, I guess the static one. So
Right.
that is a legit class. You think, how can you make a whole course out of this? You absolutely can. And that was one of the most impressive, like, 1 day of learning I have ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was trained. I did the same thing. I didn't finish the class either, but it was Martin Stepanek, who is a world-class free diver in his own right, and he still does this stuff, I think. But I went through one of his classes, and saying he told me, he said, "Yeah, well, I can take pretty much anyone off the street as long as they're not, like a mess, like Casey or Jerry or Barry."
Wait, what does that mean? What is that supposed to mean?
He's saying you guys are out of
always
shape.
Get drug into the negativity.
Yeah, Greg. Why are you always picking on Jerry?
No, I'm just saying.
You have.
There's a baseline. That's where
people.
Some of us are old. Yeah.
Besides me on here, you could pick on 6 of them.
Okay.
You choose me.
I'm just saying what Martin
you're
told
the one
me.
that you're younger than us, and you have a monkey heart already.
Yeah,
so.
well, Martin told me though, you can take pretty much anyone off the street, and with a little instruction for about 30 minutes or so, he said I can easily get them holding their breath for over 2 minutes, and that's pretty impressive.
Have brain damage, but
No. It's so much of it is psychological. It really is. It's
It's also technique.
Yeah, and they tell you learn the techniques and things, and
I would suck at that. I enjoy breathing way too much.
Well,
I love breathing.
I will say
it's one of my favorite things.
The whole free diving thing. When you get into that world, that is a younger man and woman's game compared to the old farts like Barry, Jerry, and Casey the tobacco nut.
All right.
You can practice. You can practice.
I'm older than
your
Jerry
breath.
is.
The easiest way is just hang out with Greg after he's had a bean burrito, and you learn to hold your breath really well.
Yeah, the longest I've held my breath, Greg, it's been 3 minutes and 37 seconds.
Golly.
I think I have you topped.
I think we struck a nerve.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
Who's on top?
Monkey heart.
You and me will hold breath.
Well, all I can say is suck it, losers, and just remember who controls
if you stay with Greg you'll learn to hold your breath.
That's right.
Very true.
All right, there you go. Go ahead, have fun at my expense.
That's why I thought it might have been Mrs. the Dive Master that was holding their breath.
I don't know what you're talking about. You're making no friggin' sense.
I'm going to start calling her
I say
Mrs.
she can blow that 29 minutes out of the water easy. She could probably get 50, 60 minutes.
Okay, this is where we hit the mute button. We put everybody in timeout. So we're going to do that. We're going to regroup.
Uh-oh, Greg's upset.
I'm not upset. I'm just trying to keep things moving along in the right direction, because right now we're here totally derailed. All right, more coming up. Stay close.
This is the Worldwide Scuba Radio Network.
Power, simplicity, reliability. It's what you demand of your dive computer, and Shearwater delivers. Shearwater evolved out of one tech diver's need for a reliable, easy-to-use rebreather dive computer and quickly became the tech market leader. Now recreational divers have taken notice. The Shearwater Taric is the best, most intuitive, and reliable wristwatch-sized dive computer on the market. Check it out in the entire line at shearwater.com. Shearwater, dive computers for demanding divers.
How, when, and where it's made has never been more important than now. Just ask all those divers and dive shops that struggled to get products and parts during the pandemic. One relatively new gear manufacturer, however, managed quite well. Nex is one of the few, if not only, dive gear manufacturers to bring regulator and design assembly back to the USA. No shortages during the pandemic for their customers and dealers. And get this, Nex was a Tester's Choice winner in Scuba Lab for 2022 and a Best Buy in 2023. Each Nex regulator system is made to order, cutting down on overhead and allowing you to get exactly what you need for the kind of diving you prefer. This will be the last regulator you'll ever need, since the modular design can easily be modified as your diving skills and preferences evolve over time. Are you ready to make your next dive your best dive? Then go to nextdive.com. That's NEXdive.com. Next Underwater Products. NextDive.com.
Scuba action star Mike Scott is back in a new audiobook, Cayman Cowboys, Reefs Under Pressure. From author Eric Douglas comes the one that started it all. Listen as Mike deals with submarines, kidnapping, betrayal, and more.
He didn't even have fins or a mask to let him see in the water. He was going to be slow and blind. If it weren't for the float, he knew there would be no way he would ever make it to the surface.
Download Cayman Cowboys or Oil and Water, Return to Cayman, Turks and Chaos, and Lionfish at Amazon, booksbyeric.com, and audible.com.
Scuba Radio. Scuba Radio.
Prepare to rig for dive! Your surface interval is complete. You're now clear to dive with Scuba Radio.
Scuba Radio.
The world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Scuba Radio.
Dive, dive, dive.
Hi, I'm Captain Slate from Captain Slate's Atlantis Dive Center in Florida, and you're listening to my good buddy and dive pal, Greg the Dive Master, from the world's first radio show devoted to diving, Scuba Radio. Scuba Radio. Scuba Radio. I love it.
This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving, and I am Greg the Dive Master. Thank you, Captain Slate. All right, so look, not only did this guy hold his breath and break a record this past week or so, 29 minutes and 3 seconds on a breath hold. Another guy broke a record for the longest walk underwater on one breath. How many feet do you think there, Barry the Bugger? What do you think?
How many feet for what?
Walking underwater. You know, and
100 feet. I'll go with that.
Casey says 100 feet. All right. You know, and he's a Polish free diver. He's 59 years old, so there's still hope for.
No, I just got my letter. I've been approved for Medicare. I'm old now. I'm a senior citizen.
All right. Well, then maybe there is no hope then.
There is no hope for me.
But this guy was 59 years old. He broke a record, and they like to walk upside down underwater, free diving. On ice, on a lake.
Wait
I
a
say
minute. So
25 yards.
I'd say
let's go feet.
350 feet.
No, 100. Okay, so that means it's really cold water.
Okay,
so that's going to slow down his energy. I would say about.
Yeah.
Does that have to do with anything, Barry? He's wearing
I'm just trying to figure.
suit.
Yeah, but still,
you're an
he's hanging
accountant.
out
Surely you can
down.
do the math quicker in your head than this.
No, this is just unusual.
No,
and
well,
he's
on
walking.
Social Security now.
He's upside down. Yeah, so I'm
25
old.
yards. I got it right.
I said feet. I said feet. Okay, 25.
Okay,
75 feet or so.
25 yards is 75 feet. Come on.
Okay, Olympic pool size, baby.
I would say about 50 feet.
50 feet.
yards
walking.
Is half an Olympic pool.
Okay, and Jerry.
Okay, I say 50 feet.
Jerry says 350.
Yeah.
All right.
I say 100.
All right. Casey says 100. And CJ, you care?
I missed,
walking
the
upside
beginning of
down
that.
on one breath. The guy just broke a record. 59 years old.
I didn't know there was
How many
far?
feet did he walk upside down on the ice?
75 feet.
75 feet. You're with Vinny Two Tanks.
I said 25 yards.
Yeah, which I
do the math.
I asked for feet. Vinny, but,
Well, if he said that,
well, you're gonna change your guess now? Really?
Okay.
Okay.
Well, what do
60
I know?
feet.
I'm just a Yahoo.
Well,
one breath, and he's underwater and he's on ice.
well, he's upside down,
down.
walking on the flip side of like a frozen lake or something. I think is how they do.
How
this.
many
Which
feet?
I
did
don't
he
see
walk?
how
Do
I
you know
can
the
physically
answer?
do that, but
Yeah, of course. I'm a genius.
Give me a little hint.
I ain't gonna know.
Just give me like a more
upside
hotter
down. That's kind of a feat.
This is like what is it that show?
Guess your weight.
No, the one.
That's what we're gonna do next.
The Price is
Kilograms.
Right. This is the Price is Right now.
Oh, higher or lower? No.
Higher or lower? Yeah.
Kenny,
So I
care
say
to chime
50
in? You got a
feet.
guess, or do
CJ.
you know? Kenny from Sweetwater Scuba, maybe he probably already knows this. I don't know.
$1.
$1.
Ding, 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 ding.
Wrong game. Wrong game.
Where's my
But,
damn bell?
Oh, there it is. Yeah, get the bell. No, he doesn't deserve that. It should be. No, do you have a guess? Holding one breath, 59-year-old guy upside down, walking on the flip side of a frozen lake. How far do you think he walked there, Kenny?
There's so many variables. It's kind of like one of the
That's
best
what I was
car
doing,
for compact that's maroon that was sold between this year that's only got 3 doors. It's like
And it's freezing cold. That's pretty rough.
It's cold.
What's
He's
he
like
wearing?
preserved, maybe.
Maybe I
don't
estimated too far, but I'm going with 25 yards.
know. All right.
I'm gonna
Nast-
go
even though I
200
asked for
feet.
feet, but he keeps throwing yards at us.
Well, it's 25 yards. I can't do the math.
Okay.
So.
Could be a trick question. Maybe it's
to make
6 feet.
news, it's got to be far.
Who
It's
can
got
do
to
the
be
math
far.
there?
We
Come
don't
on,
need to
somebody-
be talking
point.
about
So
it.
what are you going to say, Kenny? What do you think?
I'm going 200 feet at least.
200? Okay.
I'm going to change
So-
mine.
CJ is going to change his guess.
Oh,
You don't say. You don't
130 feet.
130. Okay.
Jerry had
Well,
70.
I'm going with 25 yards.
Jerry had 300.
Once again, I asked for feet, not yards.
Yeah.
You're disqualified. You lose, sir. You get nothing.
I'm a loser.
Good day, sir. I said good day, sir.
Kristen has some free diving experience. Do you have a guess on this, Kristen, or you prefer to stay out of this nonsense?
I'm gonna stay out of it because I
Okay.
was fully zoned out. I won't wait.
Okay. Well, you
It's
and
okay.
everyone else listening right now, probably.
All
All right. Well,
So what is the answer?
the only person who cheated amongst all of us was Jerry.
He already knew.
You saw him look it up?
Yeah, he looked it up.
Yeah.
Dirty bastard.
Yeah. 363 feet.
Damn it.
Yeah. Oh,
Who's
texting
closest? Who won?
Yeah, Jerry the diver guy.
Jerry, he said
350.
Oh,
Yeah.
but you said he cheated.
He cheated.
what
He
was
cheated.
it, Leah?
He Googled it.
363, you said,
Yeah,
or 365?
363. Yes.
Yeah.
363 feet.
Who's your daddy?
Excuse me?
Who's your daddy, boy?
Greggy is.
Who's your Diddy?
No, Jerry the Googler is what we're going to have to change his name
He's
to.
a Googler.
I have you know, I was messaging my son.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah,
And your son
That's
was looking
code
it
for-
up for you.
He's on the
No.
porn sites again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, but that's an impressive feat, isn't it? Especially for a 59-year-old. So, here I was talking about how free divers generally swing towards the younger ages. And divers, I think, there's nothing holding you back from
Us
diving well
old
into
guys
your 80s.
can do anything
Oh, yes, I'll be diving.
with some
when I'm
training and
90.
proper
thing is-
nutrition.
You said it was cold water. So
Yeah,
his
so-
body, everything slows down in cold water. That's the reason why he was able to go so far.
Or he's just superhuman.
Like a
and
mud skipper.
has gills.
Sure.
Well,
I
he
mean,
may
but
be
generally,
overweight because he would if he's overweight he fat floats, so it'd make it easier for him to walk on it.
Now that
True.
actually makes sense.
but we will have no fat shaming on this show.
That's not fat.
He said it
shaming.
was
We-
better. It was an advantage.
Well,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
inappropriate, Jerry.
How's that inappropriate?
Greg. Oh, Greg. Oh, Greg. He
is-
can crack.
Greg
'em.
is the
What?
king of inappropriate.
I don't know. What you're
He's a
talking about.
fool.
Greg says it, and we must obey.
Well, at least one person knows how things work here.
Well, he does control the buttons.
True. That is true. All right. Well, yeah. I mean, but when you're free diving, the thing is, generally, you can dive deeper when you're younger than you could when you're older. There's some variation. When the older you get, the harder it is to free dive. You're not going to, hold your breath like you did back in your 20s.
Nothing's free.
Who said anything about it costing anything?
You said it's a free dive.
Well, it is if you jump in there with just your breath. Don't argue with me. How dare you? How
It's
dare
not
you?
free.
Scuba Radio. Scuba Radio.
Come as a guest, leave as a friend. It's a philosophy that comes from the top down at Explorer Ventures liveaboards. It doesn't matter if you're traveling solo, with a buddy, or group. Explorer Ventures does the liveaboard dive experience right. For proof, know Explorer Ventures has one of the best repeat customer stats in the dive industry. They're also the official liveaboard company of Scuba Radio. You've likely heard us talk about Explorer Ventures Scuba Radio scuba cruise trips many times, and we invite you to join us on the next one. However, whether we're on board with you or not, I'll bet an Explorer Ventures liveaboard trip will be one of the best dive experiences you've ever had. It just doesn't get any better. Saba St. Kitts, Turks and Caicos, the Galapagos, Maldives, Indonesia, humpback whales, and the Silver Banks, new destinations and itineraries are being added all the time. Call one of their talented travel consultants to find the Explorer Ventures liveaboard experience that's just right for you. 1-800-322-3577. That's 1-800-322-3577. Or visit explorerventures.com. That's explorerventures.com.
Scuba Radio.
Prepare to rig for dive! Your surface interval is complete. You're now clear to dive with Scuba Radio.
Scuba Radio.
The world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Scuba Radio.
Dive, dive, dive.
It was interesting scuba diving. I remember the first fish I saw. I could have sworn he took a double take at me like, what the
This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. I am Greg the Dive Master. CJ in the studio with me. Scuba Radio, Scuba Squad connected via the web. We got Barry the Bugger, Jerry the Diver Guy, Vinny Two Tanks, Casey the Tobacco Nut. All of them sometimes may qualify as
Scuba douche, knows it all despite the truth. Far and wide, he'll say he's gone, but there's not much brain and too much brawn. Look out, here comes a scuba douche. This is a scuba douche. Don't be a scuba douche.
It happens, and every time they open their mouth, but that's fine. We don't discriminate. We welcome all types of divers, even the ones that have a tendency to talk too much.
Barry.
Yes, thank you, Jerry. Thank you. I was waiting for someone to say someone else. Thank goodness it was Jerry who mentioned Barry.
Jerry, you starting again?
Okay.
I didn't say that.
All right.
I heard you say Barry.
Let's just nip this little lover's quarrel in the bud, and move on to Kenny from Sweetwater Scuba. He's been patiently standing by to talk about normal stuff. You just got back from the Florida Keys, didn't you, Kenny? Doing something down there? Were you shooting some video there with Nex or who? What were you doing down there?
Well, we did have Next regulators, which I've switched to, thanks to you giving them out on stage, by the way.
Oh, well, there you go.
Awesome rig.
Yeah.
Oh, God, yeah. I had so many people stopping me off the boat. We were at Amore Dive Center in Key Largo.
Uh-huh.
And they're just people. One of them didn't even. There was like these two girls. I think they were Italian that didn't even speak English, and they're like, these, the colors. Where? What? And like just trying to get out a few keywords to say like, where did you get those things? Everybody on the whole boat, including the crew, were coming around and looking at our whole setups like, what? So it was fun. It was a good time just having them as a conversational piece. And I've been diving with them pretty aggressively, and they work good.
Yeah, they do.
But
they do indeed.
We were actually shooting content for Amore Dive Center.
Okay.
We decided to return. We had a good time last year, and just kind of befriended everybody. And
they just won like a best resort or something. And
yeah, they keep
Scuba Diving Magazine.
Awards.
Is that it? Yeah.
Yep.
Good for them.
And yeah, they're like the only or one of the only dive resorts in the actual U.S., which is unique. And a lot of people don't know that. And that's kind of where that question came in. I was interviewing the owner last year, Jeff Nizer, super nice guy. And he said, and I said, is that a mental thing where people feel like for it to be a dive resort, they have to take a flight and go to Cozumel, Belize, Roatan, whatever.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, it's a mental thing because the diving is just as good and in some cases better there, depending on what you're looking for, of course. And that really caused a lot of conversations, which got interesting.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, we talked about this a little bit when we were planning to have Kenny on this week, and yeah, he mentioned that, and I agree. One of the problems divers, you kind of get this mental idea that you got to travel halfway around the world sometimes to have some of the best diving, because since you have to jump through all those hoops, it just makes it more exotic. Like you're doing this great big travel adventure, and then you realize, yeah, you could just go down the road to the Keys here from Florida, where we are.
Absolutely
Orlando.
right, Greg.
Yeah.
You know why people think that?
Why?
Scuba douches.
Ah, good point. Yeah, and
Don't listen to them.
No, you really shouldn't. It's not ideal because you really don't want to be.
Don't be a scuba douche.
Right. That's how you do that. So you don't want to rain on their parade. You want to. You were just looking for a reason for us to play that one more time, right? Yeah. But the thing is that, and I've done this many times and been fortunate to travel around the world. Fiji, we're getting ready to go to the Maldives, and they're amazing trips. Don't get me wrong. But then, you do all this crazy travel. And I remember years ago, I was coming back after a month-long adventure out in the Pacific and Fiji and some other places that I visited. It was way too long of a trip for me, even though it was an amazing adventure. And then the following week, I went and met the dive god, Neil Watson, over in Bimini. And we kicked back. We got a beer, got a cigar, watched the sunset there in the Bahamas. And I turned to Neil. I was like, you know what? I'm looking at this. I'm like, this is crazy. I traveled halfway around the planet to experience what you got right here, and it took me about 25 minutes to get here. And it's one of those things that you kind of, it's more of a mental thing, and yeah, I think that's kind of what he's alluding to.
Well, you are mental.
Well, that's a whole nother
that's been established
thing. But as far as people, overlooking what is right there in their backyard or just down the road. For us in Orlando, go down to the Keys. Yeah. I mean, Amore has a beautiful resort, and the dive boats come right up there. It's like all of 200 yards maybe from your front door of your condo to the dive boat there, right? Or is it even that?
2 yards.
2 yards. Well, there you go.
I was
See?
getting ready to say it's less than that.
130 feet.
And where I work at in the Keys down here, we have a dive center on the property as well. And it's one of the things that I haven't had the chance to do because I'm either always working or always traveling outside of the country to go diving. I've lived here actually a year this week. I've lived in the Keys, and I still haven't been diving here yet. And it's literally, I can walk out my front door and see the ocean.
Yeah.
And I just haven't had the time to, and it's something that I want to do so bad. So I just wish I knew people that would come to the Keys and let me know that they're going to go diving.
Greg.
CJ.
No, that was a jab at Kenny.
Oh, okay. Of course. Yeah. She didn't want to dive with
Kenny
us.
would have loved to. Unfortunately,
I
this
know,
was
I'm giving you a hard time. Like I said before, I worked all week anyways.
Yeah, she's a hard-working gal down there in the Florida Keys.
And literally, I worked so much. It's not even funny.
I just love the fact that
we will be back.
She called Kenny
let
out.
Let me know next time.
She blew
I
off
have the neck diving stuff too.
But she blew
And
off
the
me.
space
She
fish.
blew off CJ, Casey, Vinny, Jerry, Barry.
We're used to it.
No, she just has standards. And
yes.
I just don't have time.
I mean, would you dive with us?
Oh, hell no.
That's gonna be a goal for the next year is I'm going to make time because I want to do like what Kenny said and what you said, diving right here in my backyard. It's like, I even have friends that are dive instructors here, and I'm like, I miss out on everything because they're all telling me, oh, we saw a whale shark. Oh, we saw a hammer. Great
I mean, you
white."
never
And I'm
know.
like,
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, the sunsets are great. The vibe is
Wait, where
awesome
is
down
this?
in the
I want to
Keys.
go.
Down the Keys.
What key are you on?
Technically, I'm on Key Largo, but I
Okay.
live at the edge of Isla Mirada and Tavernier.
Oh, that's where we always go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where you guys go is less than a mile up the street from me.
Right. See?
The Keys are just so amazing no matter what, Greg.
Exactly.
Well, that's true.
Topside or underwater, it don't
Yeah.
matter.
But
I mean, Amy, I took her a couple weeks ago, and that's the first time she'd ever been to the Keys, and she was amazed. Now she's wanting to go back.
yeah. Did you take her to
And
all
that's the first time I've been to the Keys without diving.
You just went up and down the Keys and didn't do any diving at all.
Did not dive whatsoever.
You showed her Betsy, the giant lobster on
Yep.
US 1, and you went to
Took her to
Robbie's.
Oh, that's the time where he's supposed to
Sugar.
come visit me and
Yep.
blew me off.
Right. He was too busy.
I ain't gonna make it.
Well, I mean, we had a nice little trip coming up through the Keys. I mean, we stopped everywhere.
Yeah.
I cleaned and everything.
What, excuse me? What?
No, I didn't. I'm kidding.
Yeah, he didn't bother. He just like, well, if he comes by, he'll have to just smell me.
Two-timer Jerry meeting
I
up with
stopped and seen
CJ on the
Walt.
side.
No, he
geez.
didn't. He didn't.
Oh, he didn't.
He was
Oh,
supposed
but
to
he was
stop by
going
and he
to.
didn't.
Yeah, no reason to get jelly there, Barry. Oh my God, what just happened? This is awkward. This is awkward. So thank God we got to take a break. We'll be back with more next. Stay close.
This is the Worldwide Scuba Radio Network.
Scuba Radio. Scuba Radio.
Prepare to rig for dive!
Your surface interval is complete. You're now clear to dive with Scuba Radio.
Scuba Radio.
The world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Scuba Radio.
Dive, dive, dive.
These people sound like they're yodeling underwater!
This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. Greg the Dive Master, CJ in the studio. Then the Scuba Radio Scuba Squad connected via the web, made up of Bear Jer. We got Casey the Tobacco Nut, Vinny Two Tanks, Mermaid Kristen, and Kenny from Sweetwater Scuba with us today, too.
Scuba Radio Scuba Squad.
What?
Scuba Radio Scuba Squad.
Okay. Well,
Hi, I'm Greggy.
What the hell?
what is going on? Everybody's a little punchy, I think, at this point. Kenny, by the way, just picking up where we left off with Amore Dive Resort. So you got out there, did some diving in the Keys as part of that little adventure, or what?
Yeah. I mean, we focused a lot on the resort, but we did do some diving. They got a nice boat. What I love about Key Largo, particularly that resort, is just walking right out onto the boat. Even the dive resorts I've been to, I mean, you all have all been on them. Like, it's a hike. You got to have your luggage in a roll bag just to go from your room down elevators to the boat. You can literally, depending on which room you have, we were tossing a few water bottles off of our balcony down to the boat.
Nice.
It's almost weird. You're expecting that little bit of pain in the morning, to grab all your stuff, and
Right.
and it's just you're waiting on. You feel like you're forgetting something almost. But the diving was
Jerry.
good. It's either short, shallow, easy reefs, or they have some of the best shipwrecks out there. I'm sure most of you guys have done them, like the Spiegel Grove,
Right.
Lane, Bib.
Yep.
Hell
They're
yeah.
sharky. They're good. We had fun.
Hell
I bet
yeah.
you
The
did.
bib's hard to get on.
Why is that?
Yeah, we didn't make
It's
that
always
one.
current on it.
Yeah.
It always gets blown out.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry
After
demonstrating
all the
knowledge of
years that
wrecks.
I've been down there, I've only dove the bib twice.
Yeah, just because too much current.
Yeah,
That's where they get
Too much
bib
for you,
lettuce.
Jerry.
too much.
Yeah.
Too much for
Yeah, well,
Jerry.
Too much for, well, I mean, what are you saying, Casey? That you could handle the current?
I'm just saying it's too much for Jerry. That's all I said.
Okay.
It wasn't me. We anchored up on it and we had to move because the current's ripping.
I heard that. So,
Too much for Jerry.
no, it's, it can happen. I mean, it can happen on the Spiegel Grove too. Did you have a good, did you get out to the Spiegel Grove there, Kenny, when you were down there? Or
Not on this trip, but we did recently. And man, there are so many big sharks. We didn't actually expect, because I had done the Spiegel Grove a lot, but it'd been a while.
Yeah.
And just in the last 5-6 years, whatever it's been, I mean, I'm telling you, it was like its own coral reef. It was so full of life, so many sharks, schools of fish, grouper. It was bumping, man. It was cool.
Well,
Even when me, you, and CJ and everybody dove it, what, 2-3 years ago?
I don't know. I blocked it out.
I think that was 2 years ago.
I blocked that out.
That was one of the biggest change boats that I've ever been on. That boat has dramatically changed in the last several years.
What, the Spiegel Grove? You mean?
Yes.
Okay.
And I've dove it several different ways.
Oh, what do you mean, though? What do you changed in what sense? More marine life or
More marine
structurally?
life, the growth on it, everything is just. I've been diving it since it sunk, Greg, and to see it now.
Well, it's age. It just
over the years, it's just unreal.
I mean,
these
look at
last several years has changed so much.
Look at Barry and Cherry 5 years ago compared to today. All the extra growth on them.
Yeah.
Couple skin tags, I
swear to God.
Algae on the lip.
I'm just waiting until my hair turns
Hairy
nice
ass
and white
moles.
like yours.
Okay. But yeah, no, the time underwater does make it.
Go back to
Wax is your friend.
Kenny.
Kenny's not a part of this.
No, he's just reporting what he saw.
Yeah.
As well as I
Go back
was.
to talking about how great the dive was, Kenny.
It was good. I mean, and that's the thing, people overlook, stuff that's closer because like I said, there's this mentality, I think, that kind of blocks you or you get jaded or you think, I got to travel halfway around the world. Or when we were over in California and we're talking to all the California divers, there's a lot of, resorts in the Caribbean and even the Keys for that matter, or South Florida. I think, none of the California divers want to come, to the Keys. But I think just the fact that they got to fly to Florida.
They want warm water, they will.
Well, they want warm water and they got to do that extra leg. They got to fly from the West Coast to the East Coast.
And it's a 4-hour flight.
Well, and it adds a little.
It's a 5-hour flight. That's nothing.
Well, it's not, but I'm saying it makes it more exotic to them compared to saying to go, some place even, out in the
easier
Pacific.
for them to get to Mexico and the Pacific.
I mean, Vinny loves Vinny is in California, right? And Vinny loves coming to Florida. He'd much rather come to Florida than
it's the epicenter of scuba diving, recreational scuba diving.
Yeah.
California is good. You got some experience through us.
Well, you got Catalina and all that.
It's a lot colder.
I have been begging Greg for years to come up here and go diving with me in North Carolina to the shipwreck capital of the world.
Yeah.
Can't get him up here.
I want to see the sand taggers.
Sand tigers?
Yeah.
Yes.
They got sand tigers?
Big time.
Okay.
Kenny, you need to work out and come up and do the sand tagger dives off North Carolina.
I do want to do that dive.
That is phenomenal.
Hell yeah.
It's like all those sharks from the UK.
I ain't never seen a sand tagger.
It's like a shark with a
ragged
snag or two
with the teeth of a person from London or something.
Barbecue
Has it
brisket.
got like a big chew in its jaw? Is that it?
I must apologize for anyone watching on YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch.
Why?
X. Did you see what they just did? Everybody stuck their finger in their mouth and look where a tooth is.
That's their teeth. They look like they need braces.
Well, okay. Well, like I said, it's like
there's a sand tagger and it had a big chew in its jaw. That's all.
what's going on? What has
That's not
happened?
What they look like.
Casey's gone back to his Virginia draw.
They all need dental work, is what I think they're trying to say. These sand tigers.
Yeah, they school in the hundreds.
They do. It's a lot of them.
Hundreds.
And they're all where they're at in North Carolina is cool because it's like all like World War II, like German U-boat wrecks and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The most I've ever had on one dive is probably 30-some sharks.
How deep are the planes?
It depends. I mean, you're running anywhere from 70 to 120 foot.
Yeah, you gotta
that's a short dive.
The German U-boat, it's over 100-some foot deep.
Yeah.
Okay. But it's just phenomenal diving.
So why didn't I go when you asked me to come up there?
You won't never
because you suck.
Because it's probably too cold for you. Wuss.
No, the water's warming up now. It's in a Gulf Stream. I mean, it's warm water.
So what kind of water temp you think it'd be right now?
It breaks the
right
80,
now,
80,
it's probably
80.
mid-70s.
70s, high 70s? Okay.
Right now, you're probably mid-70s. August, you'll probably be up the upper 70s.
Cold.
It starts warming. It doesn't cool down until the end of September.
Yeah. The water right now in the Keys is 81. So further north,
Hell
like
yeah.
mid to 80, mid to high 70s, like Jerry said. It's really
That's
not
what-
that bad.
Well, 81 is
Jeremy
like
said
that's not bad.
70s.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't say high 70s.
I said
he
mid to high.
70s.
I said
The
mid
best
to high.
time
Mid
that
to
I
high.
have been is in August. August and September.
That's the best
You
time.
know, you guys
Yes.
could endure it in Fiji. You can endure it in North Carolina.
Yeah, suck it up, losers.
CJ.
Oh, does that
Hey,
mean
man,
you're
that was
going,
cold.
Greg?
I was cold.
Does that
Where'd
mean
you
we're
go?
going to Fiji?
No,
Let's go
no.
to
You
Fiji.
said you were going to North Carolina just now.
No, hell no. Jerry's there.
I just got back from
I'm in Virginia.
He ain't there.
Oh, I heard he was going to be there.
I'll be there in 5
You
hours.
heard?
I heard it.
No, we'll make it happen.
Whoa, hey, look at the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got to get to the Maldives first. After I get to the Maldives.
Kitty's still the damn Memorial Divers. He ain't even left out there yet.
Okay,
Left
well,
him hanging.
all right. Out of time. Just in the nick of time.
Shush.
All right, well, that'll do it for this week. Till next time, remember, it's always better. Where, gang? Come on.
Down where it is wetter.
Safe diving, everyone.
Scuba Radio on the boat or down below if you want to stay in the know. If you be pressurized there, you'll want to be there on Scuba Radio. Let's go!
Scuba Radio.
Scuba Radio is a production of Overboard Entertainment Incorporated.
Scuba Radio.
This seems the logical place for fish to congregate.
Remember, you can listen live or to archives of past editions of Scuba Radio worldwide over the internet at ScubaRadio.com.
So we're in international waters? Indeed so.
Tell a friend and buddy up with your radio every week for Scuba Radio, the world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Well, it's all very nice here, but we should be going. I miss me wife and me oxygen.
Yes, we all miss our loved ones and gases. Let's go.
The opinions you just heard on Scuba Radio are those of the hosts, callers, and guests.
Okay, you know what I just heard? Blah, 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 blah.
They are not necessarily those of any station or network, its management, or advertisers.
Come on, quit yanking me.
Scuba diving does involve risk and should never be conducted without proper instruction and training.
Oh, what's the worst thing that could happen?
I could die.
Have any questions or comments? Feel free to do so via the web at ScubaRadio.com.